I tell moms that I wish I would have listened sooner. It was only when we started coming to get adjustments that I really saw improvement. Brody is my middle son. He's 11 now. Brody always kind of, I don't want to say struggle, but he kind of struggled to meet milestones. He didn't want to potty train and he didn't want to breastfeed. He didn't ever want to sleep in his bed. When we moved here to Minnesota, his behavior kind of got worse. He couldn't calm himself. He also wasn't sleeping well. And so he got violent and angry, and it was often, and it was scary. We had him see sleep doctors and psych doctors, and they ended up medicating him on some pretty heavy drugs, and we really didn't like that. It kind of turned him into a zombie. My cousin is a chiropractor in North Dakota, and we had spoken several times about Brody needing to see a chiropractor, and I thought she was kind of nuts, and I didn't see how that would help. We had been talking about getting his tonsils out and how he had been sick with ear infections and just colds a lot, and I didn't believe her, and I didn't understand, and so we got his tonsils taken out, and things got worse. And so then I took her advice, and we called Dr. Jeremy at Experience Wellness. I remember we went after office hours, and so Jeremy had waited until everybody was gone because he knew that Brody was going to struggle. We walked in, and Brody wouldn't come into the building. This was at the other building. He stayed out in the entryway and sat down and refused to come in. I remember Dr. Jeremy being calm and understanding. He went out in the hall with Brody. They started talking about Rubik's Cubes. By the next time Brody came into the office, Jeremy already had a Rubik's Cube and understood how important that was to make that connection with him. You know, I was still skeptical and wasn't all in, didn't buy it yet, but there was hope that something might change.
When Brody and his mom first came in, we sat down together, and I can very vividly remember her saying, "I don't believe what you're doing is going to work. You're simply our last option. We've done everything else. We don't have anywhere else to go." I want to be very upfront and just tell you that I'm very skeptical about what everything you're going to do or what everything you're telling me.
So in the beginning, it was a slow but definite change that you could see he was just calming. He was starting to calm, he was starting to feel better, he was starting to have better regulation on his emotions, starting to sleep. He started to just, come back to life a little bit. We were able to get him off those meds. He would say things, like, I can't believe my head doesn't hurt anymore.
So when we first started working with Brody, it was an opportunity to find out, what truly is his potential.
Brody's body was really able to thrive and adapt and become his own, and he felt like himself only after receiving adjustments.
Brody has had a very powerful experience here in our office, in that I think both he and his mom have really learned to trust themselves and to start to look at themselves very differently.
What we're taught and what we're told, that you have to take your child to the pediatrician and you have to meet all those milestones, or you have to give them a medication to make them behave the way that they're supposed to behave. That's not the only option.
If you're looking to open that conversation with us to find out if we'd be a great fit for you, or whether your kids would be a great fit for chiropractic care, call our office. Reach out via our website, reach out via phone, and open that conversation.